Malware is downloaded to corporate networks 971 times an hour, according to the latest report from the global cybersecurity leader Check Point Software Technologies. And the threat landscape is only getting more risky, expensive and complicated with the rise of cloud, mobile and the IoT. Well, where does this leave cybersecurity? To talk about this, let's meet Gabi Reish, Vice President of Product Management and Marketing at Check Point. I'm Sarah Lockett. Welcome to the Business Debate. Gabi, welcome to the London Stock Exchange studios.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
Now, firstly, how do you find that businesses are generally responding to cyber risk?
So what's happening is that with this intensification of risks and the growth of risks, that we are seeing more and more enterprises that are bringing this to the front of the table. Board meetings, management meetings, they understand that the issue of cyber and cybersecurity is a main topic. So we're seeing this issue of having to respond and trying to find ways and strategies in order to respond to that. The big question that we have to ask ourselves is, are there these same companies that are thinking about it, are they taking the right strategies and are building the right security strategies in order to mitigate these risks? And we're seeing in many cases this difficulty of what they're doing versus what they should be doing in these spaces. And
how important is it to, rather than buy separate bits of software to combat different problems, to have it all working as one system?
Yeah, so one of the, biggest challenges in some of the strategies is that in many cases they will try, companies build point solutions, they use point solutions in order to mitigate the different risks. And that's one of the biggest challenges right now for several reasons. First of all, there's an issue with how much skill set do enterprises have today in order to understand the different threats? Once I'm under attack, so I've got point solutions, may give me different messages, different ways of looking at it. So what do I do with it? How do I respond? So we're seeing this aspect of, or the strategy of building with point solutions, which we don't think is the right approach. We're also seeing sometimes companies and then businesses that are not using most advanced security solutions that are out there in the market to actually use things.
Now, we're seeing a rise in ransomware, aren't we, where hotels, hospitals, rail networks are held to ransom, and it costs you a lot of money if you pay the ransom or if you don't. So what's the answer?
So ransomware is increasing a lot, and the thing is that at the end of the day, it's a personal or business decision that every enterprise has to make. It's not about governments that we don't negotiate with terrorists. It's about, at the end of the day, if I've got a customer list on a system that's now been encrypted and I have to make a business decision if to pay ransom or to lose that business, that's a business decision that we see many enterprises are facing this decision themselves.
If we look at threat detection versus prevention, which is actually, finding out the problem before it happens, how difficult is that to do?
So detection is the conventional way, or focusing on detection is a conventional way, and prevention is many times a bit more complex because you need to be able to build the right and innovative technologies in place to see what's happening and to be in front of the game. And it's sometimes more challenging, and companies like Check Point, we can do that because of the investment we have in technologies right now to be in front of the game in many of the cases. So prevention is in many cases a lot more important because the cost on a business side to prevent an attack before it happens is significantly smaller.
Now, a lot of people are moving to working in the cloud, which is a good thing, but without always a lot of thought for security. So how difficult is it to secure the cloud?
So there are different technologies like Check Point has to offer and others to offer that can enable you to secure the cloud. First of all, it's about raising the awareness of the importance of building securities for the cloud. The same way you have security on-premise, you also need to provide security to the cloud, your assets in the cloud, because they are as vulnerable as you have on-premise. So you need to do that. And we have technologies in place to offer customers, and we're offering them to customers around the world in order to protect them.
And mobile devices, of course, are the easiest way for cyber criminals to get into your network. What's the solution there?
So it's about building a very strong set of solutions, maybe multiple layers of solution on the mobile side. One side won't disturb the user experience because at the end of the day, we want our mobile devices to be part of us. They have to be very, very accessible, but very, very easy to use. So the user experience should be very, very clear, simple, but also needs to protect against the different threats. And that's what we have to offer today, a very, very strong set of technologies there.
So the security there shouldn't hold up the experience of using your mobile?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't hold up the business, the way that you use mobiles on one side, but it also needs to provide very strong levels of protection.
And finally, we've got the GDPR coming along, the
Yes.
General Data Protection Regulation, taking effect soon
Yeah.
in the EU, which is to unify data protection for individuals. How is that going to affect your business and us?
I think it's going to affect all businesses around the world, because at the end of the day, this regulation talks about the human rights ability of every citizen of the EU and to protect and have his data protected and aspects of data privacy. So it's going to impact every enterprise. By May 2018, we all have to take the right steps. And right now, what we're seeing with many of our customers around the world that are working with us and building their own security strategies and data security controls in order to be ready and be protected in that space.
All right. Well, on that note, Gabi, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
And join us next time when we'll be discussing the latest innovations in enterprise cyber risk and also digital transformation. Bye-bye for now.